Hello everyone. As we already discussed in the JSTL Code Tag Library and Function Tag Library, now this time for the third library is the JSTL SQL Library. Whenever you want to connect with the relational database system with your Java application, you are using a JDBC programming. But a JSP, with the help of it, you can use a easily JDBC connectivity. So, how it is useful? JSTL SQL Tag Library provides a tag for interact with the relational databases such as Oracle, MySQL or Microsoft SQL Server. To use this JSTL library, the syntax must be taglib directive prefix equals to SQL and URI must be http://java.sun.com/JSP/JSTL/SQL. It consists of 6 tags. The first tag is JSP, that is a JSTL library consists of this JSTL SQL library is having a 6 total tags. The first tag is SQL : set data source, which creates a simple data source suitable only for a prototyping. Suppose you want to do JDBC connectivity with the Oracle. Suppose you are selecting the DBMS as a Oracle 10G edition, for example. So connect with this database with your Java application. You require driver OJDBC 14.jar file or 6.jar file. They must be downloaded from the website of it. Then you require a step class.forName. You need to pass here the string of loading driver oracle.jdbc.driver.oracle_driver. If my database is changing, then the class loading string must be changing. Then step number 2 is connection con equals to driver manager dot get connection. Now you require the URL of it. For the Oracle, URL must be fixed jdbc:/oracle:/thin:@localhost:1521:xe, and the username of the database is system, for example, and password also system. So there's 2 steps you require to connect with any database. Like for the Oracle one, any table you can connect of the Oracle database under the schema of a system. So to set up prototyping of it, we require tag here is a SQL: set data source. DNS must be capital. To write a select query, we require tag is a SQL: query. It will execute the query, defining its body and through the SQL attribute. If you want to do the database manipulation, DMS statement, then you require the tag SQL: update. It will execute a SQL update defining its body or through the SQL attribute. Then if you want to set any parameter with the SQL statement, you require the tag as a SQL: param. And SQL: date param set parameter in a SQL statement to the specified date value. Suppose you want to do at one time, you want to execute multiple SQL statement, you require the transaction. So for the transaction management, you require the tag as a SQL: transaction. Let us leave an example of it. Suppose I have a table in Oracle. Table name is a student, which having a 3 columns: R, number, name and SPI. I want to do the connectivity with the help of a Oracle database, and with the help of JSTL library, I want to fire a query, select R, number, name and SPI from the student. So how you can work on it? So initially, what the prerequisite condition you require, here I am creating a demo of it. So I right click new, I am creating a one JSP page, JSTL SQL.jsp page, and make it finish. So I created new JSP page. Then what prerequisite you require? If you want to connect with the Oracle database, you require jar file must be added. Right click and add jar. You must be added OJDBC 14.jar, and you need to add library of JSTL. How you can edit? Just add library and select JSTL 1.1 of it. These two particular things required to do this connectivity. To use SQL JSTL library, we need to add a tag lib directives, and prefix must be is a SQL, and the URI must be a java.sun.com/gsp/jstl/sql. How we will get the recommendation? Just click here, control and space. You will get the recommendation, so no need to write down the whole line of it. So I am creating a JSTL SQL demo. So JSTL SQL demo, SQL Tag Library demo. So very first tag, how you can set prototype of it. So the tag is SQL colon set data source. I am using a variable is equals to ds. So ds will be helpful to store every information of it. What driver I require, it's similar step you written here na, class.forName. What is driver you require? Oracle.jdbc.driver.oracle driver. So I mention here oracle.jdbc.driver.oracle driver. Then what thing you require? We require the URL of it. So mention here URL equals to jdbc colon oracle colon thin colon @localhost colon 1521 colon xe. Very important thing, you have to specify the username and password. Must be here work keyword is the attribute name must be a user, not username. So user equals to system, and here password equals to system. So I created data source prototype. It is a similar line which you mention in a JDBC programming. This two particular line I put in a one tag of it. Clear? So how you can use a execution of a select query. Now you require the tag SQL colon query. Then you require the variable. We store the information of it, like the students is a variable name, and which data source you want to refer, the all records, all the database contain information stored in which variable, the name variable is ds. So I need to put here data source $ds. Now write down the query of it. I want to just fetch only one. The one record is roll number, R number and name. I just wanted two columns. So what the query will be? Select R number comma name from table name is a student. Does not end with semicolon here. Now I want to display this information in tabular manner. So require which tag? Table border equals to 1. So now I put a TRDT combination of it. Roll number TT, the name of it, name of students. Now all the records are fetched and stored in variable students. I need to fetch a student records of it. There are 3 rows are there. So how you can do the iterations of it? Iterations you require the library which is nothing but a core library. So to use a core library, because we are having a tag C:4 for each for the iteration in core library. So how you can use it? Tag lib prefix for the core library must be a C, and what will be the URI of it? The URI must be JSP/JSTL/core. So now I'm using a C:4 for each. If you want a variable status, then you can use status. It is optional one. Whether you are not using, then also the code is work perfectly. The items where the stored in which variable, all the records are stored in students variable. To fetch the rows of it, you need to write students dot rows. So So you will get every rows in a variable. You can provide here variable in a row. Here I am entered is a row. You can write any variable name. If you want any XYZ, then you can write XYZ of it. But use proper variable name. So now to print any record in a core tag library, we are using which one? C:\out. So how you can print a value of it? Dollar curly bracket. Row is a variable name. What is a column name? R number. Another TD combination, C:\out value equals to dollar row dot name. Here must be closed all the brackets of it, otherwise shows error of it. Now I am closing here which tag? TR tag. So here C:\for each is over, TR tag is over, table tag is over, and program is also over. So I save my program and directly run the applications of it. You can see here all the three records are fetched successfully. Now if you want to fire some insert query, so what do you need to do? You just need to edit SQL : which tag? Update tag, and you need to add a data source equals to $ds. Now write down the insert query. Insert into student values for ABC and 10 SPI. So whatever the answer must be there, you can store how many record are inserted. You can store in any variable like n. Once you print value of n, it will print the answer as a 1. So in that manner you can do the insert query, update query, and delete query. So if you want to execute all multiple queries in a one transaction, then you need to use a tag SQL : transaction. Here data source must be a $ds. Then you can create here SQL : update multiple one, and you can end with the transaction. That transaction tag you can do by yourself. If you feel any query, you can write any comment on it. Thank you very much.